Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to be here today, Jen and I, with Taryn Victor. We're so happy to be here just to highlight another member of our beautiful community, Spirit Born Imaginings. And we're here to have a conversation, find out a little bit more about what Taryn does, and sort of the environment, the people that she serves. So, welcome, Taryn.
Hi, Mary Jane. Hi, Jen. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so awesome. So maybe, Jared, maybe you would like to share just a little bit so people can get to know you a little bit better, maybe about share a little bit maybe about where you are and where the clients and people that you love to serve.
Okay. So I am based here in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I am a content creator and creative marketing specialist for my company, Phoenix Media. I always love saying that creativity is in my DNA and storytelling is my passion. I love creating content for my clients and help them with creative marketing strategies and social media marketing to attract their ideal clients and build brands that they love. And it's such a fun journey because my business's name is Phoenix Media, where I get to basically help my clients build their brands and rise up. And one of the best things I love doing is I get to grow with them on their journeys as they improve, grow, and just do the things that they love while I save them time doing what I love. So I really enjoy doing that. My clientele, it goes all the way from coaches to small business owners in any industries, and that's locally here in South Africa and globally.
I love that idea and I love the name,
Mhm.
Phoenix Media and the symbol of the Phoenix. Um, I mean, I have the gift of knowing Darren quite well, so um, I get to ask some really good questions. But did you write your whole life? Was that content, that storytelling, a part of who you were? Is that something you really gravitated to from the time you were really young, or and how did you use it?
Um, that is a very good question, Jan. You do know me really well. Thank you so much. So, since I was a child, I've always loved writing. I am an introvert. Well, now I'm an ambivert, but I'm an introvert, born an introvert. And I wasn't one to vocally express myself, very shy in nature. And when we faced challenges and stuff, or when I felt the need to express myself, I always found myself heading for pen, paper, or pencil, and just started writing down what I'd feel, what I'd been going through. And I just saw this creativity starting to come out of me because I started using colorful pens and drawing pictures and all of that. So from a very young age, I loved writing. I loved expressing myself through writing. I loved the way others express themselves through stories. So reading stories and writing stories. And for me, it was just the most beautiful way. For me, I am old school. Nothing beats a hard copy of a book, reading a hard copy. I absolutely love it. Going to the library, going to the store, picking out your book. And so it started for me when I was young. But as I grew and matured into adulthood, for me, that turned into journaling. And journaling really was intricate and important for me, especially when it came to a loss in my life when I lost my dad. And I just felt like I had so much to say, but verbally I didn't know how to express it. And I have a story to tell. Each and every single one of us has a story to tell, and I needed a way to express it. And so, as before my late father's passing, bless him, and may he rest in peace. I started exploring blogging as an avenue to get myself out there. And after his passing, I started that blog. It's called Diary of a Whimsical Girl, and that's where it all started. I started sharing my stories there, my life stories, and it just evolved. It evolved from there into entertainment, into lifestyle as well. I'm a journalist also here in South Africa. And so it just grew and grew. And the more I learned and grew, then I worked in a marketing and PR company and ended up taking those skills and using it to create blog posts, do writing where people have the facts in that, but they just creatively, it's not coming out. Their mission and vision is just not coming to life. I got to learn and do that for those clients. And then COVID happened, and I was like, how can I serve and help others with the gifts and talents that I have? And so while I was still blogging, I decided, you know what, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, this is my new chapter and I'm rising. And I want to help my clients with their brands to do the same with their businesses. And I took all those skills and the love that I have for writing to implement and help them with their brands and businesses. So that's how it's kind of evolved. So from a young age, but I didn't know at a young age it would have been at this point. I knew that I wanted to write in some capacity, but I didn't know that I would be able to do it in this beautiful capacity in different areas and spheres of my life.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry, Mary Jane.
No, I was just gonna say that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Darren. Go ahead, Jen.
No, absolutely. And it reminds me so much because I think especially at a young age, it's those things that we do at a young age that allow us. And it's so interesting that so much of the time we kind of work our way back to those very things that gave us such joy or such, a way to express what we were going through, good and bad. Um, you know, and so many of us kind of all of a sudden it's like we cycle back, it's like, and we go through all these things in between, and we're kind of like, why did I go through all that when I'm back? When I really when I'm not back here in a bad, like I've wasted time, but I am back at what I loved anyway. And I always laugh because when I was like 10, I wanted to be a veterinarian. That was like my thing. And for whatever reason, I didn't. And then years later, when I started working with animals, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working with animals anyway. And I didn't go through vet school. And so I kind of worked my way back in a circle. But it's so much about what we naturally love.
Yes.
And kind of getting back to that, what we feel comfortable at, what's natural for us, and what almost feels like an extension, like I could, your writing is an extension of you. And I know Mary Jane, her art is an extension of her. So, yeah.
I
Yeah,
really,
so
sorry, Taryn. I was just gonna say, I really loved how you shared about, things that your story of when you were a little girl, because that's something that really resonates with me, because I also have, as part of my story, it's like, I don't remember a time going somewhere, even if we were going on a road trip or wherever I went, even visit family, whatever it was, bringing, well, I guess at one point it was crayons, but then pencil crayons and paper. And I would never think to leave home without those things, because I was always doodling, I was always coloring, and, the little things that I saw in my mind, or things that might be happening, I'd be drawing them, it would be that sort of process. So I really loved how you were sharing that about writing, because it's just, yes, and it is amazing, Jen. Like you were saying, it's like sometimes you think, I mean, yes, I worked in the creative design field for a very long time in corporate, and now I just feel like I'm even more embodied in that art, because I'm able to, as because we do very similar process of things. I support a lot of my fellow entrepreneurs in creating a brand, bringing, as you were saying, their mission and vision to life, because sometimes they have wonderful ideas but don't know how to actually express that in a visual sense. So I love that. But thank you for sharing that.
no, thank you for sharing that too. And that's what I love about all of us in the room, because we can resonate with each other in one way or another,
Mhm.
personally and business-wise as well. And I love the word that you use, Mary Jane, embodied. And I'm going to tie that in with Jan, with what you said, that you never pursued being a veterinarian, but you're still working with animals. And it's so special because it's just proof that whatever's meant for you will be. Maybe you'll miss it, maybe it will be delayed, but it will reroute like a GPS. I love using that analogy. It will reroute like a GPS and come back to you. So everything that's destined for us will be, but it will just come in a different shape and form at a later stage, because maybe you weren't ready for it at the time. So that's an affirmation I'm taking with me today. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're so right. Eventually we get there. Or
Yes.
as I look around and I see people who, especially those who are daring and courageous, who like don't, let's say settle, because I know we all come from this sort of more traditional, like corporate kind of, work environment, and we all left in one way or another.
Mhm.
And if you have the courage to step out, I think you eventually get back there, because that's what feels like, that's usually, as I always say, that's what makes your heart sing,
Mm.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know? And so all eventually you just end up rerouting yourself back, because that's what brings you joy.
Yeah.
And so,
So
so
true.
beautiful. And what do you have planned, or what do you see for, what's coming up?
Sure. Sure. What's coming up? I yeah, if I think about my plans right now, where my plans are, I'm currently in the process of doing my BA degree in communication science here in South Africa at the University of South Africa. So I think for what I have planned is from an academic point of view is that I look forward to finishing my bachelor's degree followed by my honors. I'm looking forward for that. So academically, business wise, I just look forward to expanding my business globally so that I can reach more people and help more people with their brands and businesses and use my skills of writing in a positive influence. And just also sharing more about South Africa and the entertainment industry and the arts here. We have so much talent. And just to carry on writing about that and sharing that with the world, it is such a privilege to be able to work in this industry in the capacity that I do and share and meet people that I watched on TV as a child. And I get to share these stories with them. It's really at heart, I'm a creative and a storyteller. And just to be able to tell more stories, Jan, really tell more stories, share my own story. You and I are working on a project. And I am so excited to be able to share more of my story as I go on and meet people. And hopefully some part of my story in whatever capacity it is will encourage somebody that's like, I want to be a writer, Mary Jane, I want to be a graphic designer. Jan, how do I work with animals? That just by telling my story, they're like, wow, you went through this, you overcame that, or you started and it didn't matter what age you are. That just that impact of helping them tell their story and also by sharing my story, that they get inspired to pursue whatever their heart's desires are. That's really, really at the heart of it all for me. And hopefully some travel, like I would love to come and visit you ladies sometime in the future. Get some travel out there and all of that. Just travel and enjoy life and love life and always be my authentic self and never ever ever make myself small for somebody to fit in.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Never making yourself small. It's so true because, often we've been, for whatever outside influences, we've been taught to make ourselves smaller. So now let's make 2025 for all of us
Yeah.
listening and here present to be bigger. And Jan, and what are your words for 2025? Because it seems to fit in.
Shine bright. Mhm.
Yes. Love it. Shine bright. And it's 2020 thrive. We are all thriving in
Oh,
2025. This is what
I
I
love
keep
that.
saying.
Thrive. I love
Mhm.
that. That's
2020 thrive. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. So, Taryn, I'm just gonna sort of when you're not writing and studying and doing whatever, what makes your heart sing as as Jan was saying, when you're not doing those things, what are some other things that make your heart sing?
Sure. What makes my heart sing? Spending time with friends, quality time with friends over a cup of coffee. I enjoy going for walks. I'm quite active. I love going for like jogging, being out in nature. Geez, what makes my heart sing? Being out in nature and sometimes doing nothing, just relaxing, reading a book, and just enjoying the moments. Um, what else is there? Yeah, like I'm quite an indoor person, so I really enjoy being indoors. So if I can be indoors or like go in the garden, spend time in the garden, go for a jog, or go and have lunch with my mom. Those kind of things are what bring me joy. It's just spending time, peace, quiet, away from the hustle and bustle, and just putting the phone and the laptop aside and being like time to just relax and be present. That's really it. Quite simple. It's just very simple.
Simple is good. Sometimes we make things way more complicated than we need to, and I think those things, all of the things that you mentioned, are really important. And honoring yourself, recognizing that you need that time to yourself, and also, you know, spending it with others or out in nature, whatever it is that makes you feel your best self. So I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
what reminded me of is your word that I know is space, like that space to breathe, that space to just be, whatever form that is, wherever you are, whether that be, because then you're there more for yourself and other people. And so it's just, that's a beautiful way to be, in a world that tends to be quite loud and noisy most of the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, so true. Like space is my word because I need space to breathe. I need space to think. I need to space to just because I mean things can get hectic and we're busy and on the go and all of that, and then we kind of forget to take care of ourselves in the process. So for me, just having space, just give me some space to just make myself a cup of tea and enjoy the night sky, or I'll go and stare at the stars. I'll go take a walk outside and look at the stars. I love the stars since I was a child. It's like when my imagination, I'll just dream who I want to be. And Jen, I know you know the story, but I'm sharing it again because it's just, I love the stars. It's like, it's peaceful and it's just so expansive. So it's just really, really simple things that I've carried out since childhood that I enjoy doing.
I love that. I think it also speaks to what we were talking about of it brings you back in that cyclical format, like it brings you back
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Because when you think about simple things, I mean, if you think about it, most of us, when we're children, quite a lot of things are quite simple. I mean, it does remind me of Tonka, like what's important, playing, being creative, exploring, I mean, for us, and for me, and I know Taryn and Mary Jane, it was really important to be outside, like those things. And so those are really simple, basic things. It wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't anything like material. I mean,
Yeah.
it was much more like, okay, well, get me outside, in a forest and I can explore, or
Yeah.
let me see what's outside, So it really is that simple, those things that are really quite simple.
Yeah, so true. I can't be inside for too long, and I can't like obviously with work timing and focusing on work and that. But I like well, if it's very very cold, I can stay inside. But otherwise, I'll put on a jacket and I'll just go and just have a little breather and all of that. I've got to have just some type of outside. Like we've been having a lot of beautiful rain. We are so grateful for a lot of rain. But the sun came out today, and I was like, I'm going to have a walk in the garden while we still have some sunshine. I had a cup of green tea, and off I went and took a walk in the garden and just looked at the trees, watched the cars went by, and it felt like being in another world, even though it's just my garden. But it was so good.
Love it.
That's so beautiful. So Taryn, if people wanted to connect with you, what's the best way that they can actually do that?
So if anyone would like to connect with me, they can connect with me on LinkedIn at Taryn Victor. They can also follow my page on LinkedIn Phoenix Media. They can contact me also on email, Taryn at phoenix-media.co.za, and they can visit my website, www.phoenix-media.co.za.
That's so awesome. And we really do appreciate you. I know, realize that Jen knows you better than perhaps I do, but I really feel in a heart way, I feel a strong connection with you, and I really am glad that the wonderful world of technologies has allowed us to come into each other's um I'm trying to think of, I don't want to say environment because we're not environment,
Spheres,
but yeah,
spheres. I don't
spheres,
know.
yeah.
You can do.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. But the thing is, whenever I'm around you ladies, I always feel so good, so positive, so happy, and I've got so much love for you both. And I definitely agree. There's definitely a connection between all three of us, and I've got so much gratitude and appreciation. So thank you for your kind and giving hearts. I was invited to this, and I was like, a conversation with Mary Jane and Jan. Absolutely, of course, it's gonna be good. So, ladies, I want to just take a moment and appreciate you, and just say thank you for all that you do, all that you share, and for all your kindness. You ladies are amazing, and I'm so grateful to have you in my world.
Mm,
Feelings mutual.
absolutely. So thank you so much, and yeah, and make sure whoever's watching, you will be connecting and seeing Taryn's highlight will be coming up in the next week or two on our brand new YouTube channel, right, Jen?
Absolutely, very exciting.
Subscribe, subscribe. You don't want to miss out.
Thank you. See, you
Right.
took the words. See, look, see, yeah, that check it out, like and subscribe, and you could check out a lot of other um ones that we've done already with member highlights there. Check them out because we have some beautiful, amazing people in our community, and you know, they're well worth connecting with and getting to know a little bit more about them. So please do that. We would love for you to help us build this community together.
And
So
also, we have our wonderful Friday, well, what was LinkedIn audio events now on Zoom.
that's how
Record,
I met Taryn.
yeah.
Yep, love those.
On where those are also on our YouTube channel now, that
Mhm.
we have switched to Zoom and we're recording them. So please feel free to listen and comment, as we would love to, or join us on a Friday for those events, those Zooms. Uh, we post those events on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So feel free to, follow and like and register.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.